What is going on, y'all? Willie PK back with another one. And today we're going to be talking about the 15-minute city theory. Now, I don't know about you, but I've definitely seen the little seedlings of this, the spirit of this idea popping up near me in the city near you. If you've ever witnessed the living and shopping, where they'll place apartments on top of the shopping area and try to create a little ecosystem. Well, that definitely sounds like the seedlings of the spirit of this idea. So without further ado, let's check out the theory of the 15-minute cities explained.
Okay guys, this is something I noticed. Now, we're here in Austin at a place called the Domain.
Okay, y'all.
Now, very nice, luxury stores and whatnot, but if you pay attention, this is actually a 15-minute city. The reason being, if you look up here, you have endless apartment buildings on top of the whole entire shopping center. You have luxury stores. You have people walking around to where within 15 minutes, you can get to everything. Your shopping, your food, your entertainment, you name it.
That don't sound
Nobody
like
really
Black
notices.
Mirror to you.
Even right
I don't
here,
know what does.
you have advertising right here.
I mean, on one hand,
24/7, and it's targeted towards a certain demographic, people with money.
I remember speaking about this like with my family, with my dad. Oh my goodness, my bad, y'all. I remember speaking about this with my family, like, you know, the concept of the livable shopping and everything, the whole experience within 15 minutes of vicinity. And, you know, from a business standpoint, of course, it sounds lucrative and it's definitely appealing. But, you know, they begin to explain in these videos about how it's more of a trap and the convenience, you know, that we already experience. So don't even think about having your whole life put before you on a platter, but the convenience that we already have that we need to deconvenience ourselves from is already taking grasp in our lives. So just imagine what it would be when they basically box you in. Let's continue.
Why else would you live on top of a Rolex store? You have Aloe, Anthropology. This just goes on and on, you guys. This is a part to where I haven't even seen this part yet. Keep in mind, it's called the Domain. They have domain over you. Pay attention, it just keeps going.
Never ending.
Never ending. Building apartments on top of
Put us in the infinite Tsukiyomi.
This
Naruto
is
style.
crazy. Nobody really realizes it, but this is a condensed, highly populated to where you really can't leave because you really don't have to. Live, come down, shop, eat, go into Yaga.
This is really it.
Versace. Again, they are targeting towards people who with money and keeping everybody else out. It's haves and have-nots. And I've been telling you guys, Agenda 2030, this is what's happening. This is what they're doing right now.
Shit keeps going.
It keeps going. Look at this.
Tesla, Montclair, shit keeps going.
We checked out the Domain for a while. This is a new part that we haven't seen before.
We've been coming here for the past 3 days.
Yeah. Comedy club right here. You have your
So
parking.
all this
you
by
have
2030.
shopping, where you live.
They're really doing these 15-minute cities. This is crazy. We're out in Austin. Hey, look.
Built right in. You
Built
live-
right
you live
in.
Right here.
Parking lot, right behind the... I've never seen this. It's still going.
It's still going.
It's still going.
Damn.
Got IKEA at the corner.
Now you're asking yourself, who actually owns this 15-minute city? And there is a few interesting companies like Simon Property Group, Cousins
Millionaires.
Property Group. But who owns those groups? Did some research. Lo and behold, BlackRock and Vanguard are the major shareholders in this 15-minute city. Surprise, surprise, right?
Same shit, different day.
More parking, more residential spaces, and it's all connected. And it just keeps going.
All this is all the same
All
shit.
this is the same thing.
Yeah.
Work here, live here, eat here, never leave.
Retail hell.
There you go.
Retail hell. So, you know, it seems like everything that we would need, especially us millennials and stuff like that. If you like me, staying at the house still, stuff like that. I mean, I don't think that it would be a price point that we would agree with, but it seems like everything we need, you know, be able to walk, and get to where you need to get to within 15 minutes. But again, screaming, rats in a cage. It just brings to my remembrance the song. What's the band? Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in the cage. But yeah, it's crazy. Let's continue real quick. Get out you guys' way. Okay. The concept of a 15-minute city, popularized by the urbanist Carlos Marino, who framed it as organizing cities around time instead of distance. Helps cities become more resilient, less car dependent, more human centered, all reachable. 15 minutes without a car. Again, it sounds good. Mixed use zoning. Apartments above shops. We've seen that. Schools doubling as community hubs. I haven't seen that yet. Workspace in residential areas.
Like Oxford, England just established like this new, they're doing this thing called like 15-minute cities, where you have like an area where you're allowed to travel to. And if you decide to travel outside of that area, you get a certain amount of them per year. And
Wait, you get a certain amount of what?
travel
Right.
passes to leave your area.
Okay.
Congestion zone.
Control.
Okay, whatever
I'm
it
just
is.
saying, that's what it was.
You call it whatever you want, but whatever it is, it's the government telling you can't
Deciding.
leave an area. And if you leave that area, it costs you money. So
Wow.
it costs you the equivalent of like $100 a day.
Does that sound like freedom to you? Does that sound like the American dream that we've been sold? Absolutely not.
To leave this area
Wow.
if you get over a certain number of them.
That's what it's similar to what they did in New York City.
Temporary
However, they
charge.
stopped it in New York. Remember?
Yeah, well, it's crazy.
Here's a horror story for you.
That is crazy.
Everything you need, all within a 15-minute walk from your front door. If that doesn't sound so scary and honestly just sounds pretty nice, then it's too late for you, according to some conspiracy theorists. To them, being able to easily walk to the store or to work is like living in an open-air surveillance prison nightmare, being imposed by shadowy forces. Let's back up a second. The idea of a 15-minute city was coined by Franco-Colombian urbanist Carlos Moreno and inspired by American urbanist Jane Jacobs. The concept suggests that cities should be reimagined so that most people can get their needs met, going to the store, going to school, going to work, all within a 15-minute walk or bike ride. Some of this might sound familiar if you've lived in a city for the past 3 years. The urgency of COVID restrictions led to mayors across the world closing streets and expanding bike lanes to center pedestrians and allow for more open-air travel. That's a win for everyone, unless you're one of those people who fears parking spots disappearing or that densifying urban areas means being in touch with the working class. But a new strain of opposition has grown on social media, one where people believe that 15-minute cities are actually just a pretext for open-air prisons enforced by a police state, where citizens will be prevented from leaving their enclosed zone. Edmonton, Canada is the latest place dealing with backlash against moves to make the city more walkable, after their mayor Amarjeet Sohi, proposed creating 15-minute districts with widened sidewalks, multi-use trails, and other sustainable infrastructure that would aim to reduce commute times, encourage walking, and also make it easier for you to go back to the store if you forget that one ingredient you need for dinner. Conspiracy theorists began circulating a map, purportedly of Edmonton, but spoiler alert, this isn't even in North America, dividing the city into something out of the Hunger Games. The map is actually of Canterbury, England, which also has rolled out its own 15-minute city proposal to a similar kind of backlash. Canterbury's plan involves closing off roads through the city center to traffic by using license plate readers to find motorists that aren't taxis or delivery vehicles. The goal there is to reduce congestion and prompt people to walk or bike instead of driving. Other cities have successfully done similar or more stringent measures to limit car use to curtail traffic, like some cities in Colombia, where cars are banned from driving certain days of the week based on the digits on their license plates. But conspiracy theorists have seen something sinister in these proposals, even expressing alarm that the concept was discussed by the World Economic Forum, which is a dog whistle for a number of conspiracies. Misinformation about the proposals has been on the rise, so let's make something crystal clear. Nobody is saying that people will be barred from leaving their neighborhood by car or other method of transportation. And no, the government isn't tracking your individual driving so that you'll be banned from eating beef if you go too far. The goal is to just provide people with local options for buying groceries and taking a walk, which seems like a great thing for local residents and businesses. But what the pushback does show is that car culture is so deeply ingrained that even the suggestion of limiting automobile use results in some dark and imaginative paranoia.
Sage, tell me what you think.
Remind me of that movie with Jesse Eisenberg. I think it was called Vivarium, something like that. Which just sounds like, human aquarium or something like that. Where they had to go through the maze of trying to escape the scenario of all the houses looking the same, going down further and further. But just this whole stuff, you got to be careful because it brings up a sense of hopelessness. How can the solutions that we need be backdoor with so much BS? So, I don't know. It's tough. I know you guys are going through it just like I am and stuff like that, but I don't know. Share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think? Do you think you see people just falling in line with this kind of stuff, or what kind of things can we do?
The plan was to take away all the private ownership and then make a 15-minute city. I mean, this is there. This is in Sacramento. This is the progressive left agenda that we can't have our own homes. We can't live out in the country. We have to have 15-minute cities where you walk everywhere you go. And you live, everybody lives together. You walk to work, to the grocery store, to wherever it is you want to exercise. Whatever it is you want to do is within a 15-minute city. That's their idea. That's the socialist idea of government controlling everything, and it took the Palisades to make that happen.
That's taking place in China.
So, those few buzzwords about socialism and government control, that signifies to me that our young people would definitely buy into this, because what other option do we have? You have the boomers and stuff like that. They are where they are, and they're not trying to turn the ship for us as we're coming up. So I don't know. It's like we're being put in a rock in a hard place. What else we got? Let's see.
Wow, this is an
This comment sent me down a rabbit hole, and I dug deep at 3 o'clock in the morning to find the connection of the movie 1BR to the concept of 15-minute cities. So let's talk about it to answer the big question. Was the movie 1BR really created to expose the truth behind 15-minute cities? First, let's begin by defining what a 15-minute city is. Because I live under a rock, I didn't know. But these are small communities that were built as a way to give residents everything they needed within a 15-minute walk or bike ride from home. The concept first emerged back in the 1920s, and it was created with the goal of increasing accessibility. Your job, department stores, the movie theater, anything you needed was just around the corner. Which in turn, these communities can reach a high level of sustainability for its residents, and an overall better quality of life. So now that we have that covered, let's talk about the movie 1BR. It's a 2019 psychological thriller, and it follows the story of a young woman who moves into a seemingly perfect community. But the longer she stays there, she starts to realize some very strange things. Soon learning that the people living in this community are trying to control her and get her to conform to their way of life. And when it's clear that she's refusing to follow their lead,
social
things take
scores.
a very sinister turn. Now my favorite part, let's get into the theories. Some people have apparently turned away from moving into these 15-minute cities because aside from the gentrification that takes place, many of them feel that it's a totalitarian plot, and theorize that it must be something greater going on with these large organizations. People have even pushed back on the installation of cameras within these communities, because they have this fear that they're always going to be watched. And the scariest theory of them all is that it is felt as them as residents will one day be restricted from driving on certain roads, or even leaving these 15-minute cities in general. It's very much giving Big Brother from the book 1984 by George Orwell, if you're into that kind of stuff. And I mean, also very similar to the atmosphere given in 1BR. But can we say that 1BR was created to expose the truth behind these 15-minute cities? In my opinion, it definitely exposes the theories and what people fear could happen. But with my knowledge in marketing and media, one thing I can definitively say is that people are going to continue to reuse these types of concepts because they know that it will almost always gain popularity amongst the masses. And I feel like it's because of the conspiracies that revolve around them. That's why we see so many movies about zombie apocalypses and the end of days. But unfortunately, we won't know the truth until it's right in front of our faces.
So yeah, I mean, that just reminded me of like the, what is it called? Mockingbird with Jennifer Lawrence and all that. You have the different areas. That's even on a macro level, I guess. But you know, on this smaller level, you have neighborhoods you can't leave. That's like they could be enforcing, you know, turn you into one gang. That's gang A, B, C, D. And that's how, you know, that turns into the whole Hunger Games and I forget what they call the tournament, but you know, that's just crazy, something crazy to imagine. But it seems you could, you know, calculate that that's where that's headed to. But anyways, oh my gosh, I did it again. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Is this a good idea, bad idea? Could you see yourself or someone you know living in a situation like this? Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the future. All right, Willie PK out. I'll see you guys in the next one.